we recommend to you that we move to a 5-period with a home base, and you can see the thinking relative to a sample schedule in front of you. May need to be tweaked in terms of some pieces with minutes. Again, you know, we won't serve 600 kids in the secondary in one lunch period, and so you end up with, you know, that lunch period for a student might be before third period or the first part of third period for some, at the end for others, etc. in there. Okay, not indifferent to what we do now with the 4-period schedule or those pieces. So there would be a 30-minute lunch at some point in the middle of the day there for students. In terms of, again, as we go back to, and you've got the minutes from the structure committee out there, you've got, you know, relative pieces in terms of, you know, prep time periods. As we sorted through all of this, looking at electives, looking at 4 courses, looking at what the state has done to us, and some of this I'll sort out as we go through more overhead here and there. You know, in terms of, you flip back to the previous sheets there in terms of the prep time piece, moving to the 5-period day is a change. It's not as dramatic a change either direction as a 6-period would require in terms of the amount of prep time on those pieces. As we look to the 5-period day out there in terms of, we also looked at it in terms of a trimester basis, a quarter basis, semester basis, those kinds of combinations and mixtures. The recommendation to you would be to stay with a quarter basis. In part, as we look to shift courses from a 4-period and or a 7-period, you have to make determinations as to some courses are elongated and some courses are shortened in terms of it did not work as well for us with some of the courses in terms of a trimester basis as staying with what we have in terms of the semester quarter kind of schedule now. Okay? In terms of, I can come back to that one again in a bit out there and talk a little bit more, but as we move through and you're thinking about structure versus the reductions recommended this evening, it's next to impossible to not see that they are interwoven to some extent in that. In terms of, should the board choose not to work with this structure recommendation out there, then I will tell you forthright that I will make additional recommendations